Okay, moving on to eye brushes. I think most people should already know that MAC makes the best eye brushes, but I do have a couple of MAC eye brushes, but not all of my brushes, all my eye brushes are MAC. Some of them are from other brands, and just it doesn't mean that they don't work as well. They actually do work very well, at least for me. So I'm going to introduce to you some of my non-MAC brushes that work pretty well as well. So the first brush I'm going to show you is a non-MAC brush, and this is my Everyday Minerals eyeshadow brush. Okay, this brush is like has a pointed tip, but what I use this brush for is to apply concealer under my eyes. I don't use this brush to apply eyeshadow because I find that it doesn't pick up color really very well. So I use this to apply under eye concealer. It works really great. What I normally do is I just apply this under my eyes, and I use my finger to dab it in to blend the color into my skin. So this brush is great as a concealer. I sometimes also use this if I have like a very big pimple here, then I would put a bit of concealer and just dab it and just blend the concealer into my skin. So this brush works really well as a concealer brush, but not as an eyeshadow brush, which it was meant to be. Okay, the next brush will be flat brushes, flat shader brushes. I have two of them. Of course, I have a MAC 239, which is like the most famous flat shader brush. I use this brush, as most people would say, to pack on color on the eyelid. This brush is great, and it's so great for picking up pigments and patting them on and packing them onto your eyelid. So this is like the main purpose of this brush, and it just works fantastic. This is one of my favorite eye brushes because it just works great, and it's so soft, it doesn't scratch your face. Yeah, that's why MAC MAC brushes live up to their name. But I do have another flat shader brush, and that is my e.l.f. Studio C brush. This is also like a flat shader brush that you can use to pack on color, but I actually prefer the MAC 239 to this, because if you compare them together, you can see like the e.l.f. one is a lot bigger, and it's not as dense as the MAC one. So it still works fine, but it just doesn't pick up as much color as the MAC one. So these are my two flat shader brushes. Next brush is it's also one of my favorite brushes. It's my Everyday Minerals eye kabuki. So it looks like that. It's fluffy. It reminds me of like a mini kabuki brush, the Everyday Minerals long kabuki brush, the mini version. So what I use this brush for is to apply powder under my eyes after I apply concealer. It just works great for that. This is the only use I use for this brush, and it's just perfect. It doesn't, because sometimes when you apply powder into your concealer, on top of your concealer, it gets like very patchy, but this brush fixes that. It prevents the powder from becoming too patchy with your concealer. So this brush is great. Blending brushes, I have three of them. The first one is my e.l.f. Blending brush. I really like this brush a lot, but I don't use this for blending. What I use this brush for is to apply color to my crease, and it's just in the perfect size for it. So I pick up the color and just apply directly to my crease, and blend it out a little by little. This brush to me doesn't do much of a blending, so it can still blend, but to me I don't really use it for blending, just to apply crease color on my eye. So it works great for that because it's like the perfect size. Okay, the two main brushes that I use for blending is my Sephora platinum brush, and this one is a number 10. And this brush, oh my god, I just love this brush. I initially wanted to get the 224, but it was just so expensive. It was like $40 over. I just can't understand why I have to pay like so much when I actually can get like the same kind of brush in this, and this costs like $10 over cheaper, and this works like great for blending out harsh lines, and then blending the eyeshadow colors together, especially if you are using like multiple color eyeshadows on your eyes. This is just great, and it's super soft and it doesn't shed. So this is my favorite blending brush. Before I used this brush, I was using this one from Magical Tensu. It's just normal regular brush. This works well too, but it's not as good as the one from Sephora, because this one can be a bit scratchy and it's not as fluffy as the one from Sephora. So yeah, normally I reach out for the Sephora one nowadays. Okay. The next brush, which I think is probably unique to MAC only, is the MAC 219. This is the pencil brush. This is so one of my favorite brushes. I use this to apply eyeshadow color on my lower lash line and on my inner corner. And sometimes if I want like a super defined crease, then I will use this one on my crease to create that harsh crease line. So I really like this. Diana has actually complained that this brush is very scratchy for her and it's not worth it, but in my opinion, this brush is worth every penny that I spent, because I just think it's pretty multi-purpose for me. Yeah, and you also can use it to create the outer V if you want to. So I do like this brush a lot actually. Okay, the next, oh I forgot, I actually do have another blending brush, and that is a 217 from MAC. And I guess if you are looking for a must-have MAC eye brush, this is it, because this is actually my very first brush. And what I like about this brush, that it is also very multi-purpose. You can use it to apply eyeshadow over your lid. You can use it to blend out colors. You can use it to put colors in your crease. This brush is like just perfect for everything. What I use when I first got this brush, I use this brush for like everything. I use it for all my eyeshadow, to apply eyeshadow all over my eyelid, and I use it for the crease and to blend. I just use everything. I just use this brush. But nowadays, what I use with this brush is I use it to apply my crease color and just blend it out, especially if like I'm in a rush and I don't have like time to like do a lot of makeup, to blend, to use the Sephora brush to blend the colors. I just use this brush to apply my crease color and just blend it. And this brush works great for quickies, I would say. So yeah, if you have to get a MAC eye brush, you have to get this brush. This brush is perfect,